first of all, a word for the man on your right, captaining the Springboks, having lost John de Villiers last week.
Yeah, not easy to lose John and Victor, but I've got a lot of confidence in Fourie. I've coached him since he was 19 years old, and even back in the day, when he was 19 years old, I was astonished about his rugby knowledge, and always believed then he will be a rugby genius, and he's a rugby genius. He's respected worldwide because of his knowledge about the game. And if you look at the history of South Africa, wherever Fourie played, even when he left for Japan, if he played there, those teams always won. When Fourie played well, the team won, even against the British Lions. If you look at all the history, so he's a tactical genius. I've worked with him before. I think the great thing is that he and Schalk's also great friends, and they play in the same team. So I had meetings with the senior players. I had meetings with Schalk and Duane. They're going to help him. Schalk's also a great captain, and I just feel that for Schalk, he brings something different for us. It's going to have gone either way, and we believe what he brings is he doesn't have too much pressure. But to go back to Fourie, he's not a guy of a lot of words, not like me. But he's a true warrior, and that's what we're going to need. It's no use. We've been under the pressure since day one in the championship. So the players respect him. Usually when he's on the field, he's a natural leader and take leadership. It comes naturally to him. So we need that on the field. He knows what I want on the field. He knows what's the right calls. And the biggest thing is he knows how to win. Always ask him to come back. He's been injured so many times, and he's got a big feeling for the Springboks, passionate about the Springboks, and I could see he's almost back to his best. And he really wants to win the World Cup, mostly or probably his last World Cup. So he's driven. The team feeds from that. So easy choice. I know it's the right choice, and I hope the whole country gets behind him. The whole team is behind him, and I know it's the right choice. A lot of respect for him as a player, and I know he's the right leader, and he leads from the front. We're not talking too much, and that's what we're going to need on Saturday.
Just moving to individual selections one by one. First of all, the return of Bismarck to Plessis at hooker from outside last week's 23.
Yeah, it's a rotational policy. I know this is the right game for Bismarck. He's been ready to go. We're going to rotate those guys who want them fresh. They take the most pressure, so he's ready to go. That's an easy choice. They know their stand. It's going to be very physical, so right choice there. And like I said, every single guy now has to put up his hands. He's a warrior. It's going to be very physical, so it's the right choice for this game.
You mentioned the loss of Victor Matfield due to injury. It gives you an opportunity to start Eben, Etzebeth and Lood together in a test match.
Yeah, I think the great thing is if you want to win a World Cup, you need not just 31 players, you need more. I've said it from the start. That's why a guy like Jannie comes in, because Damian is also a little bit the pressure of injury, so it's 12 for 12. But to lose Victor is not easy, but I think that's a great thing about our squad at the moment. Those two youngsters have been brilliant off the field and on the field. They've really developed as a pair. It's going to be difficult for Lood because VPNL and Josh Strauss was in our camp. They know all our lineouts, they know the calls, and they know Afrikaans. So we have to change a lot, and we've changed all the calls and everything. So it's important for us to get going in the lineout. So it's great to have those two youngsters. They've really played well. They bring physical edge. We will definitely miss Victor, but I'm really excited to see them. They're both on great form, and Pieter-Steph on the bench. So three youngsters, and that's what we're going to need on Saturday. So I've got confidence in them. The team's got confidence in them, and Lood has really developed as a line-out caller. So I'm looking forward to what they bring, especially physically.
Willem Albert's on the bench, potentially making a first appearance.
Yeah, Sia's done well, but we need to give guys game time. Willem is a 50-50, so if we can't play this week, we have to bring someone in from South Africa. So the other players know they're going to play next week and where they stand beforehand. We have to take the chance on Willem because he has to play, hasn't played. And a lot of our other loose forwards is carrying slight injuries and niggles. So if Willem doesn't play this game, then we have to replace him. So it's a rugby decision. And Willem's always played well when he's 100% fit. He's almost there, but we have to see this game, and he brings something different. Probably a better starter, but he's always been our biggest hitter, and he gives us go forward. So looking forward to seeing him back. He's really ready to go, and he's looking forward to play.
Just finally from me, you said a lot last week, returning to the South African way. Do you think that was misconstrued in any way, given the performance that you put up and the number of tries scored and by the wings?
Yeah, first of all, when I was appointed, I said I only believe in two sorts of rugby, and that's winning and losing. And lately, we've played more losing rugby than winning rugby. I've always said as well, if we play to our strengths, nobody in the world can beat us. And I still believe that. And we've done that with great leadership from the senior players last weekend. We scored 6 tries. We butchered 3 2 meters out. 4 of those tries were scored by the backs, and it was quick handling as well. So I think it was, it was typical Springbok rugby, but without being too conservative. And every week we need to change, make the right decisions and play. But if we fired up, if we play to our strengths, we play for the guy next to us and play for our country, I truly believe that nobody can beat us. A lot of the players now has been struggling with injuries and form, slowly but surely be getting back to form. So looking forward to Saturday, and we have to change small little detail, but if we play like South Africans, without sounding too arrogant, on the day nobody can beat us.
Well, that was great, thanks. Congratulations, Fourie, on captaincy. Did you, can you just talk us through the timeline of when you were told, and did you ever have any doubts about saying yes, or did you think about it, rock and roll?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's obviously a massive honour and privilege for me being asked to be captain. I had thought about it the last 4 years. 2012 was in a similar situation, and very happy that I can get the opportunity now. I'm also very happy that guys like Schalk and Duane, very good friends of mine, and I'm sure they'll told me they'll back me, and that I can do it with them. I'm not going to be a big speaker or motivational speaker or whatever. Hopefully I can lead from the front, and massive game. Coach talked about winning the World Cup, but only thinking about winning Scotland this weekend.
Yeah, Rob.
Fourie, what is the state of your own fitness? There was talk of a rib nickel or something after the last game. And also, how did you feel about getting through 70-odd minutes of a test match the first time? How are you feeling in terms of your sort of general stamina and sharpness?
Yeah, last week was quite a tough one. It's one where I probably didn't have a choice. I had to make a step up and play as long as possible. The plan was originally to probably only try and start this week or next week, but I had to make that step up. The rib is feeling 100%, so that's fun. And obviously getting through 73 minutes, and I was probably happy to go 80. So I'm happy with that as well.
Go.
Fourie, when you talk about 2012, you had this option there. Am I right in saying that before you decided to stay in Japan or whatever happened there, you were in line to maybe be the captain there?
Yeah, well, there was talk between me and the coach, and I think a lot of you guys reported on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was just a situation there that it couldn't happen, and luckily John took over, and he had 4 wonderful years, and credit to him as well. So life is funny. It's a funny part, and we get a few weeks back. I didn't think I was going to be here. A few months back, I don't think I was still going to play rugby. So to sit here as captain, to possibly be captain this weekend, it's unbelievable for me. I've worked really hard to be here, so I'm very happy.
Heyneke het redelijk baie gesê oor WPNL en Josh Strauss en die Skotse span. Ja, goed ook daarom so 'n bietjie aan ons twee skotte en ons geleedere met John McFarlane en Richie Gray.
Daai is 'n baie goeie vraag. Dat help verseker. Dit help verseker. Ek dink daar's een groot verskil is dat WP en Josh kan Engels praat, maar Richie Gray kan nie Afrikaans praat nie. So dit help so 50%, maar nee, verseker, ons weet wat gaan ons vat. Skotland is altyd 'n ongelooflike rekkingspan. Dis kom ons hom ingekry het. Hy weet ook presies wat aan hulle aangaan. Ongelukkig was hy nie die hele tyd in hulle kamp wat die fynere detail van lynstaande goed kry nie, want dit is maar jou hart van jou span as jou lynstaande goed. Maar ja, dit help definitief. Ons weet wat om te verwag. Wat ons duidelik weet is nie dieselfde span wat ons laaste speel het nie. Hulle het baie versterkings in. Hulle het nooit groot ballcarriers dalk gehad nie. Hou hulle met George daar en hulle agste man 2 groot ballcarriers. Hulle skyfie span, hulle het groot vleuels en hulle het met 'n Hoggie daar fullback wat baie goeie voete het. So dit help verseker, maar ek wil weer sê ek dink wanneer ons op ons beste is ons krediet gee vir die opponente, maar ons speel ons eie game. Ons wil net te veel verander oor hoe hulle gaan speel nie. As ons fokus op wat ons gaan doen en hoe ons speel en die regte calls gaan maak, en dis hoekom ek vir hier so back, dan kan ons enige span wen, en dis wat ek op glo. So vir my is hierdie toets meer oor wat gaan ons doen, gaan ons opdaag, gaan ons die regte calls gee, gaan ons speel Suid-Afrikaners kan speel, en dis my belangrik. As ons dit doen, glo ek, en ek het al 'n paar keer gesê, dan glo ek, en ons het gewys Saterdag, dan dink ek ons is onoorwinnelik.
Okay, Simon,
Heyneke, 'n paar woorde oor jou nuwe kaptein en die druk op jou skouers met die vertrekking van Jean en Victor in 'n week. Asseblief.
Ja, dis nie maklik om vir beide jou kaptein in 1 week te verloor nie en vir alle week wat belangrike wen is. Maar weer eens Fourie is ek ken hom al van hy 19 is hom afgerig. Ek was ongelooflik beïndruk van dat hy 'n jong speler was, van sy kennis oor die spel en mens regtig terug gaan kyk sonder om ander spelers af te kraak en mens gaan kyk wanneer die Bokke nog altyd goed gedoen het, is wanneer Fourie op vorm was en hy het nog altyd betrokke gewees by die tegniese calling van die stelsels en van die insette gewees van hoe die span speel en hy het nog altyd gedoen. 'n Suksesvolle span wat ek afgerig het en die Bokke. Ek weet ook die vorige afrigter het hom ook baie gebruik en hy het ook baie insette gegee. So hy is dalk nie iemand wat altyd die meeste praat nie, maar hy's 'n warrior. Hy's 'n ou wat op sy eie manier lei as 'n natuurlike leier en ek dink wat hom so goed maak is hy dat hy altyd die regte keuses maak op die veld. Schalk gaan hom help, Duane gaan hom help. Hulle is meer die emosionele manne. Duane is meer die warrior op 'n ander manier en Schalk bring die rustigheid. Maar Fourie wat ons Saterdag nodig het is iemand wat die regte, as ek 'n Engelse woord kan gebruik, calls maak op die regte tye. Dit help nie ons gaan net met emosie nie. Ek dink 'n ding wat ek nie gesê het nie, dissipline gaan die heel belangrikste wees. Jy kan nie 3 punte verdedig as jy 'n strafskop afgee nie, maar hy is koelkop. Hy is honger om te wen. Hy weet wat dit vat om te wen. Hy was al in die posisie en ons 100% agter hom. Trots op hom wat hy was. Ons ook hard beklei om terug te wees om hier te wees. So dis die regte kaptein hier in die span volg hom en ek dink dis die belangrikste.
Right, final question for
die is die 46ste Springbok kaptein, jy is deel van 'n baie eksklusiewe groep. Watter tipe leier sal jy wees?
Ja, ek dink dis 'n groot voorreg vir my en 'n eer om kaptein te wees. Daar was nog nie baie gewees nie. Ek gaan kaptein wees wat nie te veel gaan praat nie. Ek gaan hopelik manne van voor af lei en ek hopelik volg hulle my. Ek seker hulle sal. Hopelik kan my speelwerk en die manier hoe die ouens vir die span speel en vir die Bokke speel wys wat se werk is.